Hi, this is Jenny from lifeandbizasaphotographer.com, and today we're going to work on this image. I wanted to make the image a little foggy, mysterious, you know, like this one, a little dark and bluish in the colors. So this is what we started out with, and I'm going to guide you through all the steps to get this a little darker, steamy, foggy image. So to start with, I have an image, just a beautiful image on the forest, and I want to start with the foggy parts, and we're going to do that in lots of layers. But first I'm going to show you an image of a real foggy image. This is not Photoshopped at all. I've just made it a little bluish, a little cold in the colors, but I've done nothing else with it because it was really steamy, and it's photographed at Hell's Gate in New Zealand. And there was a lot of steam in that place. So first of all, you have to understand the foggy and the steamy character. Steam and fog, for that matter, is made of small particles of kind of raindrops. So you don't have this smooth white blobby fog anywhere. So you see, like, up here it's a little thicker and it's thinner, so the fog and steam is always moving, it's alive. And this is what it gets like when it's for real. So with this in mind, I'm not going to make it quite like this because this is a little steamy and I want more fog. So I've made this foggy group of foggy layers. So just scale them off one by one. I'm starting out with kind of this one, a thick layer where I masked out those trees, so because they are in the foreground, so they are not supposed to be that steamy. And then just built it up with layer by layer and got it to this in the end. And if we start with clicking those out, just a new layer, you have this down here. So no, I'm just kidding, that's a file. Here you have the new layers, and I choose my pencil, and up here I can choose the size of it, and I get it quite big. And also I can choose hardness, and I had it set for 0 because I don't want it hard at all. And the most important thing is opacity, because here you can choose if you want to have 100%, and if I then paint, you get like this. We don't want that. So I'll choose to have it very small, so you can drag this down to around 5 or 4%. So now it's 4%, and that's perfect. And then you choose the color of your steam and fog. It's not really white fog, but I like to start with the white one just to get the foggy feeling to start with. So I make my pencil a little bigger, my brush a little bigger, and then I just move in big wide circles around like this. And the fog is almost always by the ground, so it's not higher up in the trees. So I just make a small tiny fog up here, but most of all I have it down here. And then I just, brush often small strokes, and when I think it's enough, then I just stop. Okay, a little more there. So this is good for the first layer, and then I put a mask on it down here. I click on that one, and I get this little square. And to mask out some trees, I choose black. To paint with black, make sure you stand in this mask layer and not in the real layer where you paint. So this has to be marked, and I make my brush a little smaller, and then I mask out those trees that are close to me where I stand when I took the image. So like this, that one little one, and more, and this one like this. I like to work with the brush that has just a tiny percent of opacity, because I'd rather paint several times than have to go back and mask too much, maybe. So this tree is also going to get a little more structure, and also like this. Yeah, that's fine. For this is what I'm going to start with. Then I make a new layer, and I continue to brush, but now I select the areas that are more away from me. So I'm not picking the one trees that are close to me, because they should be quite dark. They should have some contrast. And don't forget to make the fog on the ground also. Maybe not that much close to you. You can mask that out later. So this is what I do basically. I brush, and I can sit with this for hours, but now I'm just going to show you very quickly. And in the next layer, I start to tone my fog. So I go over here and I choose a gray color. Maybe that one is good. Just click OK, because that one, those areas in behind are not supposed to be that light, more grayish. And even in real fog, you're not real thick fog, you can't see through it, you can't see the other end of it. So I'm trying to make it so you really almost can't see what's in the other end, like this. I just do it a little fast here. So this is this light gray I use on the lighter areas in the image, and then I put in a new layer, and I choose a little darker gray for the darker areas, like this, like over here, a little darker, but still it's still lighter, and it moves away the contrast. So it's kind of like this. Yeah, something like this. And I end with a layer just a little lighter, like that maybe. And I take a big brush and just brush all over, just to get this non-contrasty feeling of it. Okay, so I'm quite happy with my fog right now. Now I'm gonna make it a little darker. So I go down here, and I like to use curves and just, you know, drag it a little down. And one way to make it less contrasty is to drag this corner. This is the one, the black corner, and if you drag it this way, you make it more black. You make it sharp black. But I want it the other way, so I make it like this. I lift up the shadows so they're not really that dark. But I want the image a little more darker. Yeah, like that maybe. And in this, when I look at it now, maybe I could add some more steam or more fog, but I leave that up to you. As I said, I can do this, sit with one image for hours. But now I want to make a little character in the image, and you can choose if you want, you know, like a wedding image to go with bright light yellow or some pastel pink colors, just that subtle image feeling that you want to have, this joyous sunny day feeling of it. But I wanted to have a little more mystery tone, so I chose to go here and just pick this one. It's very easy, photo filter, and I put it in I like to choose my own colors. So I go over here, click in color, and go in the color palette, and just drag it up to wherever I feel it's good. If I have it more bright blue, it's the tree is almost like purple, and I want it more darker grayish blue like this. Okay, you don't see the difference that much yet, but I click OK, and then I put up the density like this. Okay, now it's screaming blue, and I want it more like this grayish blue, something there maybe. I click OK there, and it's still not dark enough, so what I do is I just take this layer of curves, and to copy it I just drag it down to new layer, put it over there, and it makes a copy. So something like this. It's a little less foggy than the image I started out with, but if you see where we started, it looks like this. And when I put the filters and the work I did with it previously, I started out with a fog. It was much more fog. I had much more time to just fog away all the image. And then I put on photo filter to make it bluish, and then a little darker, and then yet a little darker. So this is what I was aiming for, and you just use the layers in the fog to build up the image. So for me, I started out with this one, and it's quite nice, but I wanted more, so then I fill it up, but I wanted more, and this is where I get to the more light gray and some dark gray. So you can see the difference really in this last one. But altogether it makes it a really good fog to this. So you just think about that the fog is thicker the further away from you, from the photographer it is in the image, and the objects in the foreground are not that foggy. So, well, good luck, and thank you for today.